From the NewsTalkSTL studios in St. Louis, it's the Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter. On tonight's episode, we get acting lessons with Maurice Kerry, and then installing new turf and lights at the Dome with Coach Tom Swoboda from the Battlehawks, and the Right Mind studio band, Mitch Murphy and the Murphy Tones. Now putting the fun in your dysfunctional world, here's your host, Todd Schowalter.
Hey, you don't mind if I just, I put this cot out so I could just, lay down and take a nap, because I've seriously, we just got back from our fourth, not one, not two, not three, our fourth wedding of the summer. Just got back from Indianapolis. And I'm exhausted. I'm just spent. I feel like I have to lay down. Actually, I think I am going to lay down. Did you mind?
On the RSVP, isn't there a no box that you can check?
Yeah, but, these were good friends and their daughter. It was actually a very, very nice wedding, actually. And it was in Indianapolis, okay, which I didn't realize this, my friend, but Indianapolis is very gay. Yeah, when I say gay, I mean, they're very, what is the word? Homosexual oriented. Is that sound right? We went downtown to this one area. Actually, it was the whole area of downtown.
The whole area?
The whole, they call it the whole, and I thought this is really strange for
branding.
For a LGBTEIO. Whatever they call it, but everything they have the coming out bar, and they have the gay flags and things like that. And I thought I was in San Francisco for a while, but then there wasn't any poop in the street. I have to tell you, because that would have been the giveaway that we're in San Francisco. But Indianapolis is very, very clean, but it's very gay.
Don't they have that big stadium with all the oiled up men?
Yes.
What is it? It's Oily Stadium.
It's called Oiled Up. The Oiled Up.
Lucas.
Lucas
is oiled up.
Is it Lubus or Lucas?
I know that there's some fine-looking Colts over there.
There are Colts, yeah. Well, that's a big thing there, Colts, and it seems to be, and gays and lesbians and stuff like that. So it was really quite the eye-opener, I must say. But it was a nice wedding. It was a very nice wedding. But as I mentioned, it was our fourth wedding of the summer, and that just, at my age, and well, I'm really not that old, but just me personally, it just wipes you out.
It looks like the Indianapolis Pacers, to continue with this string of jokes that are just top of mind.
Oh, yeah, they're the best.
They work at a stadium called Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Again? Well,
so this is really, if we can get a third thing, this will be hilarious.
Oh, my
But we've got the
goodness.
oiled up stadium, and then we got Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
That's right. What else could it be? Well,
they don't have a hockey team over there, I'm sorry. The Indianapolis Ice is a minor league team, so if we said ice a little weird. But continue, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you're right. But, I'm going to work on that as soon as I wake up from my nap.
I went to Indianapolis for a wedding a few years ago, and to save money, they put us all into one of these, what is it? It's a whorehouse, like a brothel.
A whorehouse?
A hostel.
We
all stayed in a hostel on bunk beds, so it was actually really fun, but also, I know why people stay in hotels, because you don't have to do any laundry, and the soap and the stuff is already there.
Was it a gay hostel?
No, I think it was a regular, I don't want to say regular, it was a hetero hostel.
A hetero hostel.
Weird name.
We passed that on the way in, coming in from Terre Haute, the hetero hostel. But we went all the way into, we arrived, I should say, in Indianapolis, and we stayed at this place. I can't remember really what the name of it was. It was quite interesting. It was right next to a fireworks store. And
Labor Day, of course, is the biggest fireworks day of the year.
I guess so. I didn't realize. Do you realize that they sell fireworks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Have you ever woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday and say, gee, I could really use some fireworks? I've never thought that.
I bet tattoo parlors have stricter rules than this fireworks place. Because if you show up drunk, they're like, no, we can't put that dumb picture of Todd America on your leg.
Well, I tell you what. And now what do I have here? Stickers. The boys. Those would be my two kids. Wow, I told you, they made Dad all proud. You know what they did? You just mentioned it because you know all about it. They got their first tattoos. All right, now, I have to preface, both my wife, who I'm not bringing up, and I just did, and my mom, who is their grandmother, said, I want you to promise, and they had the same request, which I find very strange. 2 requests for you boys, and that is, 1, never ride a motorcycle, and 2, never get a tattoo. So you know what they did? 2 weeks ago, they go out, and they weren't drinking or anything. They went and got their first tattoos of Todd America on their thigh.
Are all of those people related to you by blood? Because if someone was just through marriage or something, that's even crazier dedication.
Yes. I'm sorry, I left out my daughter-in-law. She got one too. Well,
that's wild that the daughter-in-law would do it too.
That shows real dedication.
She loves you. She's sticking around.
It's not me. Everybody thinks I'm Todd America. I know the guy, but everybody thinks it's me. But I'm mistaken for him quite often. But as you see here, as you can see on the radio, we even have Todd America stickers now that are exact replicas of this tattoo that they got because it's from their stencil. This is from the stencil. Everybody can see it at home. No, you can't. You're listening on the radio. But yeah, we got those too.
That should save us from being sued. I know you remember Mike Tyson got his face all jacked up.
Yeah, he talks like with his tongue is stuck to his
He had some trouble in Indianapolis, too, as I remember. But that's so funny. I went to go visit Indianapolis for the first time, and I was at the Circle Center Mall in the heart of the Indianapolis next to the Sailors and Soldiers Memorial. And
hey, Sailor.
My uncle pointed out that's the place where Mike Tyson got arrested for rape. And I was like, I'm 7 years old, dude.
Wait a minute.
But if you remember Mike Tyson, he was in these hangover movies with his face all jacked up, and the tattoo artist sued to get some royalties because that's his art in the movies. So us showing this tattoo on the radio should keep us safe.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put a big disclaimer right over the tattoo when we show this on the radio. Mm-hmm. That way we will protect, I should say.
You should sue the tattoo artist.
We will sue the,
or Todd America should.
Todd America, I don't know. He's out there fighting. I think he's he's getting a cat out of a tree in Pennsylvania today or something. We got to have him on the show. Although, I was at a party and this would be my nephew's wife. She's a teacher at an elementary school right up the street from us. And she said, "Oh, get this. I'm not making this up because everything on this show is 99.4% correct." She says, "I see Todd America run by our school every so often." And I said, "What?" And she said, "Yes, when I'm coming into school in the morning, I see every once in a while Todd America running by." I go, "He should come in and say hello." Mm-hmm. And you know what she tells me? She says, "Well, we are having a fire drill next Friday at 9:30 a.m. She just spills the beans like it was like, what a better invite than that. So guess what happened? Now, I am not Todd America, but he told me this.
His voice is much deeper. I can tell the difference.
I think it sounds like Michael Tyson.
But he was actually going by at 9:30 and saw all the little youngsters out there in the parking lot, and he chose not to go. I think it's because he had to go, And no, you know why he didn't go? I'll tell you why he didn't go. I'm tired of just holding this in because I'm kind of like Todd America's spokesperson in a schizophrenic kind of way. The wife, who again I can't bring up, says, if you even think about stopping, you will, and talking to these children as Todd America, who doesn't wear a shirt because he's hot. He's, hot like, it's sticky outside.
Always jogging at a medium pace, yes.
Well, I would call it like the tortoise. I told you that story about the Pinewood Derby car. But anyway, yeah, it's very slow because he's got to take in all the danger. She said, if you stop, if you even think of stopping, you're going to end up in jail. First of all, I am not Todd America. 2, Todd America doesn't go to jail because he defends freedom. And 3, I think would be, showing the little youngster some patriotism. But on behalf of Todd America, he did not stop. Is this going anywhere?
Todd America would show up to a real fire and just ring out that beautiful sweatband that he has and then put out any fires that showed up. This was a drill, so it was basically the teacher saying, don't worry, you don't have to show up and save the day.
Well, I don't know. He pretty much got the invite. Moving on, Mitch has been back into this contract extensions, 2 weeks now? Have we heard any new songs? Have we seen anything? Well, look at him back here now. He's back there. He's doing. You know what he's doing right now? He's doing his fantasy football picks while he's supposed to be putting together a show number, which I even asked, big and glitzy. I want something really fabulous, with like sparkles and leggings. And he's back there doing his fantasy football thing.
Have you heard of this scam? You'll go to a parking lot in a big county of St. Louis. For example, there's this one from hell over there in Brentwood. They call it the parking lot from hell.
Yes.
And you'll see someone doing a busking type act out where they have a violin and a speaker.
Yes.
And apparently they're playing violin for tips. But it turns out people who actually know how to play violin have looked at this person and they are miming the whole thing.
Get out of here.
They just have an MP3 of a violin playing out of a speaker and they're just like, Devil went down to Georgia, but they're not actually playing.
Are you serious?
And that's what I think Mitch has been trying to do this entire show. It's almost our 1.5-year anniversary.
Yes.
And he's just faking it with this violin that's actually plugged into a CD player.
Now he's standing up. He's He's giving you the stink eye. I think, I agree with you. Joey, I agree with you. Mitch never does a damn thing. He's just faking the entire thing.
Miming the fiddling with his mimes.
Yeah, well, he hasn't done anything today, and he's never going to do anything again if he doesn't get off that fantasy football thing. Well, in the meantime, I'm Todd Schowalter, along with my good buddy Joey B. You're listening to The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter, future world-famous actor Maurice Kerry gives us some acting tips. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter on NewsTalkSTL. And now a man who celebrates the beginning of fall by switching out his coconut-infused bronzer with the pumpkin spice one, Todd Schowalter.
Yeah, we're back. I'm Todd Schowalter, along with my buddy Joey V. And on the line now, I can't believe it. We were talking about him before he came on, and here he is, Joey, the rising star himself, Maurice Kerry, who's going to be too big for us probably a year or a day from now. Maurice, I was saying before you came on, probably like 24 hours from now, we're going to ask you to be on. You're going to say, I don't have time for you guys. Right?
Never.
Oh, okay.
Never. That will never happen. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate being here again.
Well, you got so much going on. Yeah, I mean, you're like you are. You're the busy working actor. You're doing all this stuff now. Are you in Atlanta now? Or are you doing a show? Because I know you're based in Atlanta, correct?
Yes. So I am currently in Atlanta. I just finished a film last week, a horror film last week. So
okay,
kind of recuperating and resting up after that. There was a lot of physicality, a lot of action in the film, so I'm physically drained.
Really? Okay. Well, tell us about it. What I mean, where were you filming at? What's it all about?
Well, this particular film is called Urban Flesh Eaters. It's basically a horror comedy about a group of people in an apartment building who get infected with the zombie virus through water. I play the hero male love interest character of the film, and it is my job to protect the damsel in distress.
Really?
The lead female, and help her get her and her kids out of the building. So it's very comedic. It's very fun. It's independent. But it should be next year.
Well, that's wild. Well, congratulations on that. We'll have to keep our eyes open for it. What else you got going on? Because last time I tried to have you on, you haven't been on since I think it was like last February because you're so dang busy. So you're working on a variety of projects. I mean, what's keeping you the most busy right now?
Honestly, fatherhood.
Fatherhood. Well, congratulations on that. Tell us, when did this all happen? I mean, last week?
No. So I have been a full-time single father for the past 14 years.
I knew that.
Right. So fatherhood has been keeping me busy for the past 4 years. Hence the reason why, I haven't been able to push my career the way I did until my daughter got older. But, I still first and foremost have to raise a child. Being a disabled Marine Corps combat veteran as well as a full-time single father, those are the things that kind of keep me grounded and keep me centered and keep me focused on, getting the job done and getting these bookings, get these films out here. So, and just trying to be a positive, force, a positive symbol for fellow,
sure,
people out there. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, if you had, what's more fun, being a father or an actor? That was a trick question. I know.
Each one has its days.
I bet you. Well, at 14 years old, I mean, you're going through that. Those are the rough times there. I mean, that's when all the acting. Talk about acting. I mean, what's the craziest thing that you've had to deal with on that end so far?
Being honest with you, the craziest thing, because I've been raising my daughter on my own since she was 1. And like I said, she's 15 now, so 14 years. So the craziest thing is exactly what you think it could be. Me trying to explain when she went through the change to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that, I try to explain it to people. Like, you had to teach. Yes, I had to walk her through it biologically like a man would do it. It was not good. It was not good.
Well,
it didn't go well.
that could be a great scene in a script. You ought to write that one down. Because I have boys, okay, so I got off the hook on that one. Yeah, so that really must be something. That had to have been pretty awkward. I mean, can you just for all of us at home that don't know, can you just explain it to us? No, we'll do that another time.
Right. So let me tell you, and it freaked my daughter out so bad because, of course, when it happened, she was at school when it happened, and I was like, and I promise you, this is how it went. I went and I picked her up from school, and my first thing was, well, you know what that means. You got to be careful now. You can have babies. What? Whoa, wait. I didn't mean you can have babies. I'm just saying your body is able to produce kids. What? I was like, oh, man, you know what? We'll just Google it.
Wow. I tell you
what.
what.
I ended up actually calling my mom to help me get her through that one.
Oh, well, that's it. Yeah, it's always nice to have mom in that type of situation. I didn't have anything close to that. It was basically like, hey, pull the pencil out of your ear type of thing. That'll hurt your brain.
Right.
So that would be a good scene, though, don't you think? Maybe she just are you doing any writing, by the way? Because I know you do your acting.
Yes.
We're
actually currently working on a pilot based on my life, from being married, divorced, full-time single dad, Marine Corps combat veteran, homeless. I used to be a rapper. I was a singer, songwriter, literally so many facets of my life. I was a former firefighter, EMT. And when I tell the story linearly, people are like, why is this not a TV show? I'm like, I know.
Right.
I know.
Well, like I said, the last time you were on was back in February. So for people that may have forgotten or didn't listen, because you were a Marine, and then you, as you said, you were injured. And how did you get? Again, explain that transition, okay? Because being a Marine and then going into the acting profession. You said that you had some other things in between, but what was it that led you to where you are today?
Well, I've always had a big personality. I didn't realize what it meant when I was younger, but I've always been an entertainer. And when I got out of the Marine Corps in 2005, October 2005 was when I got out of the Marines. And I stayed in California, and I was homeless at the time. I was actually doing music. I was rapping. I was homeless at the time. And I was living in my buddy's car, and I needed money. So I started to do background work.
Sure.
Because I thought, this is the big way. This is how you get into the acting field. This is how you become a big star, is you get in the background, which is completely not true.
I know.
And that's where I started. And so it didn't work out. Obviously, it didn't work out. I didn't know any better then. It didn't work out for me then. And then a year or two later, I met my daughter's mom. We got married, had the baby. A couple of years after that, we ended up getting divorced. And so I was raising my daughter, and then I came back in 2018 and was like, all right, I'm ready to do it again. And so from there, I've just been going full steam ahead, like full steam. I act, I coach, and I direct, I write. I do full steam ahead because right now my daughter, she's older and she's actually able to, help in those areas. So yeah, full steam.
Is she interested in going to into the acting profession also, or is it still too early?
She is not.
Okay.
I thought she was. My daughter's actually hilarious. She's actually funnier than me, and she has a huge personality. But I've mentioned it to her, and she doesn't seem really into it. She wants to be behind the scenes and get her credits behind the scenes.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay, I can do that.
Well, you mentioned, okay, so you got back into it in 2018. We're in 24 now. So it's 6 years. It's really not a very long time. And you've really, it's not, especially in an act. I know people that were, still, I've had her 30 years. Still trying to get their break. But what do you think the key was? Because you're on the way. You've been doing a lot of stuff. What do you think is it your work ethic? Is it your talent? You're a good looking guy. Weren't you like Mr. Atlanta or something like that?
Atlanta hottest actor.
I was not supposed to bring that up, but you said I'll only be on the show if you bring up me being Atlanta's hottest actor. Did I do that right?
I never said that.
And you said,
no, I'm kidding.
Well, no, but seriously, you're a good-looking guy. You have talent, but you're a hard worker. What is it? Again, that trajectory. What was it that got you ahead so quickly?
And I'm going to be honest with you. It's a combination of the things that you said, as well as just dogged perseverance and honestly not caring. I do not care. I am willing to lose in order to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm willing to lose in order to win, to push myself even further in order to win. And a lot of people that I've met, they get to a certain point and they're like, I've had enough, and they stop and they quit.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my slogans or one of my catchphrases is, don't quit, grit, push through, keep going.
I like that.
Even when your common sense is telling you, hey, I don't have any more. Just go, okay, let me go just one step further, and then one step further. And then eventually you'll finally get there. Like currently in theaters, I have a film with Morgan Freeman and Luke Hemsworth that's currently in theaters right now called Gunner.
Okay.
If I had quit when stuff got hard, I would never have made that movie.
You obviously have to know your art, okay, as being an actor. But if you had to like do percentages, you know, compare the actual art of acting to the marketing yourself of acting, what do you think? How would those percentages fall out?
I would say it was as far as marketing yourself and being seen and being known, I would put that at a high 85%.
Yep.
Because you could be the greatest actor. You could be Daniel Day-Lewis. If no one sees you, then no one knows.
I could not agree with you more. I mean, I'm a cartoonist, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, and it's the same exact thing. I tell people, and you hit it on the head. I say 80 to 85%. Because, like you said, there are so many talented people out there, but they just don't know the business side of it, and they don't know how to market. And I say, unless they know you, they're not going to hire you. And so,
Thank you. That's an absolute fact. Yeah. Specifically with my resume and my background, when people, you know, they look at everything they've done. Oh my God, you've done so much. You worked with this person, that person. You've done this, this, and this. It's like, yes. And the next question comes, why haven't I heard of you? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, they will
work with you.
They definitely will, my friend. And again, and like you said, I'm holding you to this because Joey here, my co-host, he just taped that part where you say, or he's keeping that part where you say that you're never going to be too big for us. Because when I do call you, I'm going to say, hey, Mark, I've got this recorded, okay? So when you're a huge star and you have us with you at the Academy Awards and all that stuff, I'm going to say, hey, you got to do our.
You know what? I'm going to hold you to that. When I'm accepting my award, I want you to come on stage and play that recording.
Oh, thank you. Well, you know, if you want, I mean, I could go up and accept it with you, but I mean, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that.
You got it. Well, what is if people want to see you, you know, here we are in the beginning of September, what is the best way for people to see, you know, some stuff that you're in now or some upcoming stuff?
Okay. So currently in theaters, I do have, theaters and on Amazon Prime, I have a film called Gunner starring Luke Hemsworth and Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Like I said, I just finished Spanx. I think the last time we spoke, I don't know if we spoke on I was in Law and Order, Organized Crime. I did 2 episodes of that, season 4, episode 9 and 10.
Okay.
And you know, and if people want to find me and get more, you can just Google me or you can follow me on Instagram. So I'm out there. And I'm talking with studios. I got my manager talking with studios. I got my PR team talking with studios, just trying to get me out there to the people so that way I can offer an alternative to some of the more superficial things that are being put out there. You know, I'm a man of a different time. And so, you know, I want to bring back some of those core values in entertainment and in cinema.
Yeah, I like to hear that. Yeah, we definitely need it. Well, Maurice, I tell you what, you're a very talented guy. You're a good-looking guy too. You know that, but also you're a very nice guy, and that's what I really like too. And I always enjoy talking with you. And I got to tell you, I wish you the best of luck, my friend. And we can't wait to have you back.
Thank you. It was an honor and a pleasure, guys. I thank you so much for having me.
Oh, well, I don't know about an honor, but it's an honor for me. And hey, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye. Maurice Kerry, he is a great guy. He is a great guy. That's why I like. You know, I told you I've worked with some other actors and things like that. Especially, and he mentioned Law and Order and stuff. But I've worked with some people when I actually. Funny, I mean, right up the street at the Westport Playhouse back in the day, they used to have like headliners that would come in and be in plays and stuff like that just to draw a crowd. And some of these people would be like, you know, sitcom stars or ex-sitcom stars that were just giant a-holes. You know, they would think they were just like bigger than life and stuff. So I mean. And they weren't. I mean, it was like, and you just look at these people and laugh. But if you have somebody's just, you know, down-to-earth nice guy like Maurice, you know, I wish them, you know, all the success in the world.
Yeah, he said it takes about 85% marketing to become a star, and maybe just a medium star, not even a big star.
Right.
And so I tried that myself. I wanted to become a super marketer, so I went and I talked to Boar's Head, because they're in supermarkets all over the country, and accidentally killed 9 people, hospitalized 50 people. So I'm famous.
You are famous. Now, is there still, now, I knew that was in litigation, or is it not in litigation? Because they don't realize, because now what kind of luncheon meats were you actually involved with? Because you killed those people, but you didn't kill those people knowing that you were going to kill them. Were you making them a sandwich, or how did that work?
Yeah, I was doing bologna on hand sandwiches for people down at the Listeria factory, and I don't know, it spread somehow. So going away for a long time, but when I get out, maybe there's a movie that could come of it. You know, Shawshank Redemption, a lot of poop crawling in the Listeria factory.
And that's one of my favorite movies. I think we've already talked about that.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Every
week.
I
wonder if Maurice, we should have brought that up. We should have said, did he ever talk to Morgan? I'm getting away from your whole killing those 9 people because, you know.
As we all should.
It is, you know, kind of lunchtime here when we're recording this. I don't want to, you know, put a bad taste in anyone's mouth. But I wonder if we should have asked Maurice, what have you ever asked Morgan what it was like to crawl through that poop?
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's how those black spots got on his face.
I think so too.
A little splashback.
What are those things?
A little basil, a little oregano.
Oh, you mean like an oregano carcinoma?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh my God, Tom Swoboda just walked in.
Oh my goodness! Coming up next, I tell you. He's now part of the Kingfishers or whatever they're called.
Fighting Illini. Well, the peaceful Illini.
We're calling them peaceful because we're going to be PC. They're not the fighting anything. They're going to be the sedated, tranquil, passive, the passive Illini.
The peace pipe passing Illini.
Peaceful, passful. Oh, I can't talk. That's too many P's. Well, anyway, Coach Tom's going to be with us when we come back. In the meantime, I'm Todd Schowalter, along with my good buddy, the Murderer, Joey B.
I got a new title.
The Murderer. You're listening to The Right Mind Show. We'll be right back.
Coming up next on The Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter, Coach Tom Swoboda of the St. Louis Battlehawks and Fighting Illini reminds us it's a great day for football. Welcome back to The Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter on NewsTalkSTL. And now a man who has taken more hits at the Dome than Kurt Warner, Todd Schowalter.
And we're back. I'm Todd Schowalter along with my buddy Joey V. Mitch still doing nothing in the background. And gosh dang darn it, he's here. He walked in the door. We're at the Big Boy Studio today. He's got his football, one of my favorite people in the whole world, Coach Tom Swoboda. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be back.
It is so dang good for you to be sitting here in the flesh right next to us. Joey, are you as giddy as I am?
Oh, my fleshy parts are just goose pimpled all over.
That's what it is, a goose. Okay, I didn't know what was wrong. I thought you were having hives or something like that.
Not allergic to Tom Swoboda.
Oh, no way. And I was saying he's all cleaned up and put together here. Now, getting right to the chase. Okay, now you are doing stuff with the University of Illinois, the Kingfishers. That's not really their name, but Joey likes to refer to them as that. Right. Now, they are the Fighting Illini, but Correct. We're going to refer to them as the Passive Illini because we're going to be PC on the show for... No, we're done. We don't have to be PC anymore, do we? So the Fighting Illini... You're doing your Battlehawks thing with them on the college ranks. Now, do you think if you progress any further, you'll be back to like Pee Wee football?
You know, there's a real good chance of that.
Okay,
you know, I look forward to getting back to the Pop Warner days. And,
so is that kind of reverse progression type of thing? You go from the pros to college, just skip over high school, just go right to the Pop Warner type
right
stuff.
Back there.
What do you think will be more fun?
It doesn't matter. Football's football.
Got it.
I love it at all levels.
I don't blame you.
Absolutely.
Now, don't distract me because we're going to talk about this Illini, or Illinois. They say Illini because Illinois is just too hard to say.
I think that might be a spelling glitch there.
It's a Native American
it's a Native
tribe.
American.
Native American?
We went over this.
Hello, my name is Steve. No, wait, that's a different Indian.
Different Indian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut off? I promised. I was not going to cut you off. I'm not going to talk too much, and here I am. So anyway, tell us all about what's going on with the Fighting Illini.
Well, it's interesting. I've got my gig with the Battlehawks in the spring still.
Right.
Fighting Illini thing, it's a little different for me in that I'm kind of overseeing the whole integration of the iPads and the video with the coaches and the players.
Okay.
With the Battlehawks, I'm pretty much embedded into the system with the coaches and the players, and I'm taking the iPads over. We're having a conversation with the coaches and players. We're going over plays. We're going over clips, and with the Illini, I'm at a level above that. So I've got people that I'm making sure they get to the coaches and they get to the players, and I'm kind of overseeing that whole process to make sure that those conversations happen, and the Fighting Illini and whoever wins the game.
Well, how'd they do it? I'm sorry, because I did not see if Illini. Should I say Illini if the Illini won or not? Illinois. Who won? Who won this?
Well, Illinois beat Eastern Illinois 45-0.
Illinois did win. Yes, you were right.
They did.
Either way.
Either way they won. Okay.
Yeah. Big time. And then this week, Illinois has Kansas at home.
Okay.
And that game is sold out. About 80,000 people, I think, are going to be in that stadium.
Wow, that is a big stadium.
That's like dome numbers.
Geez, dome numbers. Speaking of the dome, didn't you have a nugget for us, Joey, about the dome?
Yeah, I'm imagining, first off, that Tom is in control of all of these players with iPads, and he's got little shock collars on them, and if they go the wrong way, he just buzzes them. Like that old football game where it was
my favorite, electric football. I love that game. And they would run around, and they never get into the end zone, and they it was kind of right. Yeah. It's kind of like if you were to be on hot pavement with no shoes on and you're jumping around. That's electric football. This doesn't have anything to do with the dome, though.
No, I saw on Twitter. Oh my gosh, I got so excited. I'm in control of the NewsTalkSTL social media, and as soon as I saw the Battlehawks had tweeted out this video of them installing beautiful, bright, luscious green turf, I couldn't help myself. I hit that retweet button immediately. And apparently, there's new LED lighting, too, at the Dome. They put a few $1 million into renovations.
Really?
I think there was some slight embarrassment. There's a big rivalry-type game that happens with Mizzou that was on TV last season. And the Dome didn't look in its best light.
Yeah.
So that may have pressured them to do some upgrades.
Oh,
and
sure.
I think it looks beautiful.
Well, if you think it's beautiful, Coach Tom, do you think it's beautiful?
It's very much welcome. I'll tell you what, the turf that we had before had seen better days.
Okay.
It was a little worn, and quite honestly, there were parts that you stepped on that were a little uneven.
Right.
And the grass, if you will, the plastic grass was kind of worn to a thread. And this is going to be nice, to have that, just, for the players' safety, for the aesthetics, obviously.
Right.
And the lighting's going to be much better.
Okay.
So,
that's
good.
Good.
Great. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
A lot of smells were in that turf.
Oh,
Torrey Holt, I think he threw up in the corner there on the 50-yard line once.
Did you save it?
Of course, you got to save it.
I think you can buy that on eBay or something like that.
They should sell the turf. I know that disc golf courses all around the area need turf for their tee pads. So that'd be cool if we can get some 50-yard line turf over at Hudson down there in Ferguson or something. Oh, my goodness.
Let's get on that. Yeah, well, we'll do that. Let's just Tom. Can you take over the show?
I've got this.
I think you do. I'm going to get back to the football, though, if you don't mind.
Football.
Just do it now. Did we say the chant yet? Hey, what day is it? We didn't do that yet.
We haven't done it.
Why don't you lead us in?
All right, fellas. What's today?
It's a great day for football.
Yes, it is.
Gosh, we're getting good at that.
We
even practiced. No, we didn't. But I bet you if we did, we'd even be better. Now, what is the main difference? I know you're with the Battlehawks. They're pros and everything. All that slick pro stuff. What is the difference between that and going to the college ranks? Because college is big business too, though, isn't it?
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's interesting in that there's not a whole lot of difference between being on the sideline with a high school game, a college game, or pro game. It's, they're having the same conversations.
Okay.
Hey, you missed that block. You missed the looper coming around on defense. And it's very similar. It's just a lot of activity, a lot of chaos once the game starts.
Yeah,
everybody running around and trying to make plays. And it really isn't a whole lot of difference.
Well, yeah, I just watched a show on Netflix. You may have seen it too. It was like about that Connor Stallions guy. Have you heard about him?
I want to watch that.
It is good. This guy is like a genius. Joey, have you seen this?
No.
This guy
Does he play for the Colts?
No, that's a
different type of horse.
That would have been different. That was Stallions. So I get where you're going there. But the Connor Stallions. I mean, this guy is really wild. It's a great show. I watched it twice. Okay, not because I wanted to, just because I didn't have the remote. The batteries broke. Anyway, but I watched it twice, and it's about the sign stealing. But it wasn't really stealing. He was able to decipher what the other team was doing, and it was just, but it was right there in the open. He wasn't stealing. So now, don't they do all the signs? They do it through the helmet, like in the pros. But I mean, when you're doing your thing, is there anything that it could be picked up by the other team, like if you're doing something manually, or is that all pretty, secret?
Well, the other team, they're seeing the same video feed we're seeing.
Oh, okay.
So, both sidelines have access to those feeds.
All right.
So they're able to see what we're seeing.
Okay.
It's just at that point, it's a matter of who makes the right adjustments or not. Mm-hmm. I want to watch that Connor Stallion.
It's really good. I mean, it's amazing because it's not like some shady guy. So this guy, he graduated from the Naval Academy. He was like, and he goes in. I think he's almost. And he said his dad said he's almost like a savant. He can memorize all this stuff, and he put together like a spreadsheet of the different. It's really worth watching. It's on Netflix. Yeah. It's Connor Stallions, I can't remember. Sign Stealer. Sign Stealer's the name of it. But he's not a stealer. It's like if you were like, to hold your fingers up and I say, oh, Tom's holding up 2 fingers. I didn't steal it. I'm just seeing what you did. Right. But it's really wild. And the whole thing about this, and we're going to talk more about you because I promised we would, but is how at the University of Michigan, okay, they were like, Harbaugh is going to get fired, and all of a sudden they're undefeated, and they like national championship, and they're attributing a lot of it to this Connor Stallions guy.
Let me tell you, there's an art to that, and it goes on at all levels.
Yeah,
I will tell you, when I was with Marquette, we had 2 guys signaling. Uh-huh. One was a dummy, not literally a dummy.
Yeah, no,
but one was the fake signals, and one was the real signals.
Right.
And there are several coaches in the St. Louis area, I won't name them, who are very good at getting your signals.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. And we knew when we played them, we had to be very careful with them.
Right.
It's an art. It really is. And hell, I can't even remember the signals, let alone try and steal them.
No,
but there are guys that can do it, are really good at it.
And he was saying, and it was kind of, we're not going to make this the Connor Stallions thing because it's not about him. It's about you, Coach Tom.
Well,
and we think you're
that.
special. But he was saying that basically the way he knew what because they had decoys also, but he said the way that they knew, what was the correct one. Are you ready for this? I mean, this is really kind of spy, inside stuff here. He said they knew who was the right caller by who, if all the players would look at that person. Okay, that's really a kind of a tip because if you're going to look at the person that's really the real person, and that's this guy was able to put that together. Because if they're not looking at the guy, he's probably not giving the real sign.
Well, at Marquette, we had both those guys standing next to each other.
Oh, yeah.
So the players are looking at the same spot.
Jeez, wow. Okay.
So I definitely want to watch it. That's an art.
No, that's not. It's really.
And it goes on at all levels.
It's a great. I was just really impressed. And geez, enough of Connor, okay? Yeah. Because we'll talk about him at another time, or we won't. Anyway, my great idea. Are you ready for this? I don't see why this can't happen. Okay, the officials, they need jobs. They do. Okay, that's fine. I'm all for the working man, which they are. Okay, but why? Why? Especially when you get down to your first down, or especially like a touchdown, and they got to get those chains out there. Okay, we're about, I'll make this quick as Joey's looking at the clock. We got to make those chains work and everything. Why can't you put like a microchip or something in the dang football, okay, that it goes across as a plane, okay, and you could just have like a beam that goes across, and it's just a chip that would cost like, if you buy it from China, that it would only cost like about a penny, in the football, tiny, that as soon as it crosses that plane, ding, 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 it's a first down.
Fill
it's
it with
touchdown.
Top golf balls in the middle. They got chips in there.
Yeah. See? Do you see? Joey even thinks this is a great idea. And he doesn't like any of my ideas. Why don't they do that in football?
You know what? There is a technology now, and I believe it's through what's called augmented reality.
I'm a pirate.
Where they basically, take a picture of the field and they paint the yellow stripes.
Yeah.
When you see the yellow stripes in the game, that's augmented reality.
Especially when it snows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
don't eat it, though. You don't want to eat, though.
Nope. Frank Zappa told us not to. Go on.
The UFL actually had some type of technology like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that there was a chip in the ball, but you could tell.
But like a chip, not a potato chip. Like a chip, like a computer chip.
Not a barbecue chip, computer.
I don't like barbecue chips. Do you like barbecue chips? I'm more of just like
chips.
a Lay's type of regular ruffle chip type of guy.
This
isn't any of those. This is like a computer chip I'm talking about. Stay on the subject, okay? Yeah. And it's just got to break that plane. You know what I'm talking about?
I think, I've been saying that for years, like with baseball.
Yeah, same thing.
You got a chip in the ball. You got the square that you see on TV. Yeah. And if it gets in there, you don't need a guy behind the plate.
No, you don't. And that's just it. So it's all about putting people to work, which we don't have to do anymore. If we have computer chips, all right, there's been a lot of hype around here just to replace me with a computer chip. And you know what I say? Hey, as long as it's barbecued. Anyway, so they're not doing this, okay? They're not doing it yet, but it has. And you said the UFL, okay? Yeah. Now, see, they seem to come out with all the great ideas, don't they? Because the whole kicking strategy of the NFL has changed now, but it's all based on what the UFL originally did. Do they just have sign stealers for the UFL? They're stealing all their ideas?
I think they're just trying new stuff and trying to make it innovative. And, it's interesting because the XFL came out with that kickoff, and people loved it. And then, I talked to a couple of buddies of mine who were old NFL special teams coaches, and they're like, man, I wish we had that back in the day. So the NFL adopts it, and the UFL says, nah, we're going to go back to the regular kickoff.
Yeah,
so we had the regular kickoff last year with Battlehawks.
Sure. So, I mean, you just can't win.
I don't understand.
You can't win. Well, I mean, anything else before you leave us here and go back to, you say you're going back there.
Heading back tomorrow.
He's heading back to Illini tomorrow,
Champaign.
Which is, we're in St. Louis. He's going to Champaign, and he said in his car he can make it there in 20 minutes. Now, how do you do that?
I put on the turbo thrusters.
Really?
Yeah, it's just,
This car's automatic, hydromatic, it's greased lightning. So it's something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Man, I tell you, I missed you, Coach Tom.
Oh, I missed being
Can we
here.
go to a game like maybe Joey and I? We could dress up like the mascot.
You know what?
We could be Kingfishers.
I need shirt sizes. We'll get you guys some T-shirts.
Oh, yes. Extra mediums for both.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah,
so,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd wear it.
Right.
I'd wear it. Because, Mizzou's getting a little like the Chiefs. They're getting a little stuck up.
Yeah. You can't get a ticket for them.
Well, that's fine. When I was at Mizzou, seriously, people would put tickets like on dashboards and stuff like that. I did a couple of years there. I was on the world tour, but they would put it on dashboards, okay, and it was like under the the windshield wipers.
Yeah,
you couldn't sell it. Because nobody would go. Yeah. That's not the case anymore.
Oh gosh, no.
Whew, boy, I tell you, I'm windy. You really take the wind out of. You're an exhausting guest.
Hey, we're having fun.
I always have a good time.
Absolutely.
You should be the mascot for Mizzou. It's called Ferret Field, and that haircut you have is very ferrety.
I look like a ferret.
Yeah, you do.
I do look like a ferret. Hey, you ferret.
We have no time for this, but barbecue chips. Speaking of barbecue, ExPat. Go visit ExPat at the freaking Foundry.
Let's do it. Let's put it in the plug for Evan, because Chef Evie, who's been on the show along with you, and I missed the grand opening information, but it's called ExPat. Is a barbecue, a fusion barbecue, correct? At the Foundry. I can't wait to try it. Give us a little information about it.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it's going to be your next favorite barbecue place in St. Louis.
I bet
it's not like anything that we have here right now. It's I guess the best term I could give is fancy barbecue.
Okay.
The brisket's amazing.
Pinkies up when you're eating them ribs.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely fancier than some of the other places you'll go to.
Is it like your standards? Is it like, so you got brisket? And is there anything out there that's like, wow, I didn't even know you could barbecue this?
Brisket, ribs. They've got chicken wings. They've got these are all the things that I ate the other night. They've got pulled pork.
Oh, that's right, because you went to the opening.
I got to go to the opening.
But you said you used our U.S. mail service that doesn't work, and we didn't get our invite.
Chef Evie sent that invite. I'm just surprised you guys didn't get that.
I'll get it by February.
So, Josh Hawley will be on the case immediately.
I got Josh Hawley working on a bunch of stuff.
Let me tell you the diamond in the rough down there. Yeah. They've got, and I don't particularly like mac and cheese, but they've got a mac and cheese with jalapenos and chicken skin.
Really?
Sprinkled on top?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Okay. I'd wreck my stomach for some of that little jalapeno.
Well, is this at ExPat?
ExPat, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Oh my God, the mac and cheese is incredible.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't even like mac and cheese. That's the crazy part.
That's for babies. But this,
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll have
baby.
some manly cheese.
Now,
This is some
are
manly
these
mac and
all
cheese.
Chef Evie's creations?
Yep.
Wow. So she's come up with all this stuff, and this
Yeah.
is really, well, I got to try it.
She's amazing.
No, she
really
is. No, I tell you what, it's almost like a magician. How they can put these things together and make just something magical happen. I like that. Made something magical happen. But I can't wait to try. Is it open, or are you just doing like cold openings, or what do they call it? Cold open, or?
Yeah. It was a friends and family thing. Last week.
Okay.
And I read in Sauce Magazine that it opens officially like September 12th.
Okay.
So,
Next week.
apparently next week. But what we'll do is the three of us, we'll go down there. We'll have some lunch or dinner and, and we'll try it out.
We're doing it even if you don't invite us. I'll just say, just put it on
it'd
Coach
be more
Tom's.
fun to go with us.
Well, I know. I want you to. Of course I am. I'll be either way. I'm going to put it on your tab. But I'm kidding. Joking. Well, this has been a blast. I love having you on, Coach Tom. I mean, we're going to go to ExPat. We're going to watch some football. We're going to have a great it's going to be a wonderful fall. And I'm not going to mention what you told me not to mention. But how are you doing, Joey? Did you have a good time?
I had the best time. I always love when we can have someone in studio as cool as Coach Tom Swoboda.
I know, because everybody else,
thank you.
usually it's like, hi, I'm running for dog catcher, Buffalo, New York. And I'm like, why is he on? It's like, no, I like the people that come on. I didn't mean that. Sort of. No, I do. They're all good. We always have good guests, except for that one.
It happens.
That does happen, but not you. Okay. So you had a good time, Coach Tom?
I had a great time.
Okay.
I love coming in and talking football with you guys.
You're the best.
And, I'm going to give a shout out to my buddy Broden.
Yes,
in
please
Cleveland.
do.
He's a big Browns fan.
Oh.
He's hoping the Browns come through this year. I don't think it's going to happen, but.
With a name like the Browns, I mean,
Browns,
come on, you're the Browns. Imagine if, because I think that was named after, their owner. Wasn't it like the Brown?
Paul Brown.
Paul Brown. Now, imagine if his name was Charlie Magenta. And we'd be like the Magentas. I mean, it's just not right. Unless he played in Indianapolis.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, that's going to get cut out, too, though.
It's just depressing as naming yourself the Blues.
The Blues.
Just out the gate,
what kind of team would be called the Blues?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know. With that, we're out of time. Hopefully, as we head on off into the sunset, Mitch will take us out with something that he's being actually paid to do, as opposed to pick his fantasy football picks, which, by the way, Coach Tom, you said you're going to put that together, too. We'll talk about that.
We need to do that, yeah.
Yeah,
we need a few more teams.
Sure, we'll do it. Well, how about the Magenta? I'll be the Magenta.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We'll have a good time, too. Coach Tom's had a good time. Joey, you've had a good time. Mitch, I don't care. In the meantime, like I always say, if you don't have a right mind, you don't have a mind at all. I'm Todd Schowalter. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Mind Show with Todd Schowalter. To find out about all things Todd, go to StudioTodd.com. We will see you next Saturday night at 5 p.m. right here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL, and always streaming online at NewsTalkSTL.com.